Believe it or not, Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 4 is already being leaked in real time. Today, for that reason, we dive into the storyline with the 7 making their return, what's happening with the 0 point now and the state it's currently in, already determined and vaulted items, a huge collaboration upcoming, and so much more. So stick around for the 480 to 600 seconds being the full length of this video to get it all, because what's poured out is absolutely insane. Last video I asked you guys to name this emote, and here's a ton of hearted comments on screen right now that got it right. This now, however, is our new emote, so let me know what this is down below in the comments, and if you get it right and your comment gets hearted, it could be showed on screen in the next video. And considering we're incredibly close to 2.55 million subscribers, whilst you're clicking buttons, hit the button, turn on all notifications. After all, it only benefits you, as we do try and give different subscribers every single day, with proof for that on screen right now. So diving straight into it all, I know it's early to be talking about Chapter 4 Season 4. Literally, Chapter 4 Season 3's only just seen its first update, being 25.10. Fun fact for those that don't know when I'm recording, of course, 25.11 is the summer update, 14 days of summer returning for 2023, happening on June 27th, 2023. I know, why am I mentioning updates that aren't to do with Season 4? Well, the numbers are important for every single update, as it tracks ultimately what we're going to be seeing before even Chapter 5, which might determine Chapter 4 Season 4 being the shortest season ever. Data miners determined that Chapter 5 Season 1 is of course going to be version 28.00, we're currently in 25.00 for Chapter 4 Season 3 being the 25th season of Fortnite. With that said, that means 26.00 is going to be Chapter 4 Season 4, and Chapter 4 Season 5 is going to be 27.00 before the next chapter starts, meaning we have 2 more seasons. Now, how this could mean either Chapter 4 Season 4 or Chapter 4 Season 5 is going to be the smallest season ever. I'm taking a look at when this season ends, August 25th, currently on the Battle Pass, which is subject to change for around a week or so, that they usually announce like halfway through the season. 80 days from August 25th being the typical range for the length of a Fortnite season, lands on November 13th, 2023, and with us seeing yearly chapters now, as Chapter 5 Season 1 is determined to start at the end of this year. As the finale event for Chapter 4, codenamed Jurian, is currently being worked on in the files, which obviously got determined by data miners, as it got leaked in Chapter 4 Season 2, which we initially thought was the live event for that season, but we never saw one. Even with 80 days being kind of short for a season duration, or on the lower end in terms of a duration itself, if Chapter 4 Season 4 were to start on November 13th, this would only leave a month before 2024 for us to see in December the release of Chapter 5, as from comparing the previous start dates of the new chapters, it was very early December. Typically, as they're quite far in the future, I'd say they'd cancel one of these seasons. However, it doesn't seem to be the case, not only from the game's coding with these updates on there still, but for those that don't know, every single season of this chapter in Chapter 4 so far, we've seen a mini battle pass release halfway through the season to regain popularity. Chapter 4 Season 1 was most wanted with this battle pass, and Chapter 4 Season 2 was Find the Force or the Star Wars collab. This season, supposedly, we're set to see this kind of racing LTM one that's yet to be released, and then leaked in terms of the cosmetics or the battle pass overview for this Doctor Who collaboration next season for the 60th anniversary around November 30th. This will be dropping, and of course continues the fact that we're seeing a mini battle pass every season, and it's been determined now that data miners have found the Fortnite X Lego event is set to release in Chapter 4 Season 5, or is being tested on this version of the game. We actually just got some more leaks regarding this now, despite all of the ones that have previously poured out. A weapon that Hypex found could be linked to this, from the chains obviously looking exactly the same to Lego chains. According to Palo, from translation from Spanish, apparently it will start in November and last 1 month, have its own revamped battle bus, there'll be challenges every week in a mini battle pass, and the code name of the skins so far are Rufus and also Juno. It's going to be a huge collab, bigger than the Doctor Who one, hence why I've spent more time talking about it, as we already know from it being on the must succeed incentives list that Epic Games put out there, that data miners have obviously picked up upon, the most interesting being the collaboration itself of Lego in Fortnite and Chapter 5 releasing needing to be a success. Okay, so hopefully now you have an understanding of how the year is going to be scheduled with Fortnite and the season's releasing to end it off going into the next chapter. We can now dive into the next season without getting too far ahead of ourselves, starting out with the direction of the storyline. Of course, Dr. Sloan survived the collision live event with the mech slamming down on her, as she managed, from going into no-clip mode and seeing this anyways, to close the hatch door on the tank before this happened. Believe it or not, it was actually shown, this tank, basically teased right in front of our eyes in the Chapter 4 trailer, that she indeed survived, with IO drills and other props floating around. Speaking of this time, particularly the trailer too, where we saw the 0 point use the last of its energy before going into seemingly hibernation to actually attach this island together, and with our previous speculation about where the 0 point resides under the island or in it, being in this ancient vault, now of course from going over to this particular kind of chrome looking structure of the encased 0 point. Not only is this strange in itself, almost as if it's trying to protect itself, but whale sounds or whale groans from the 0 point have been found in the files, almost as if it's crying out for help, further implying it's in a weak state from forming this island together out of literally its last energy. To move on and further back this up, I need you to listen to these Optimus Prime voice lines, whether you have or not already. I promise I'll bring to light some secrets revealed straight after.
I am Optimus Prime. And this message is to my allies. There is grave danger on the horizon. The power that once flowed through your island has faded, and formidable enemies have taken notice. You must brave the unknown. The answers you seek lie deep within the starless void that brought you here.
Okay, so the power that once flowed through your island has faded, and formidable enemies have taken notice, perhaps being the 0 point, because believe it or not, in the actual early build of the Fracture Live events, it seemed like the 0 point was the most powerful thing in the Fortnite multiverse. Literally, it tried to be abducted by a mothership flying over, which we never saw, and then just destroyed it and flew off like the snitch from Harry Potter. I know, this was obviously scrapped, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And the second most notable point from the Optimus Prime voice notes when we complete the quest is the answers you seek lie deep within the starless void that brought you here, meaning outer space or surrounding outer space of this island now that's formed. Of course, this is not only referencing the technology that they could use these kind of destroyed areas now of the jungle biome that's been revealed to look at the stars and observe the universe outside of the island, but the void outside of the island isn't entirely starless. Particularly there's 7, keeping in mind we know the faction as the 7, literally right here in the sky, almost as if they're ordered together or being held here from being changed by the Chrome, being the 7 members. Donald Mustard stated in a podcast that the 7 storyline isn't done, and furthermore, on top of that, to confirm it even more, we have things directly attached to members of the 7 set to be involved next season, being the Foundation's MK7 rifle, Gunner's Stinger SMG, Zygon Choppy's ray gun, overcharged pulse rifle, and enhanced Havoc shotgun, with this implying to a return of the last reality being these kind of formidable foes that Optimus Prime talks about instead of, you know, Decepticons, continuing the collaboration, as I do believe he's just an integration or one-off, even though we could be getting more skins in the item shop surrounding him or Transformers, such as we have Optimus Primal right now, maybe we see Bumblebee. I don't think he's a major factor in the storyline. Instead, Restro over on Twitter broke this down better than I can explain in a shorter word format anyways. I think we all know what this means, quoting Wento's tweet that I've already read out. The last reality is returning next season, and it seems the 7 except Paradigm will return next season, judging by Foundation's rifle set to be unvaulted in Season 4. It's interesting how Gunner's Stinger SMG has also been unvaulted, perhaps even confirming the helper that Dr. Sloan has had on this island has been him, as we know he's ultimately been her right-hand man this entire time when Jones was attempted to be eliminated by Sloan in the Chapter 2 finale before being saved by the then revealed Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson underneath the Foundation mask. And speaking of this event, considering it seemed like Sloan was on the side of the last reality, it isn't far from the truth and perhaps may happen in future, as we've already got this version of her, Innovator Sloan off the Fortnite surveys, initially looking like this. The only other version of her currently still on there is this last reality suited up looking version of herself, which obviously could imply that she either starts working for the last reality full time and that's her new mission now that she has, or she's decided to just act the part and carry out a plan of her own. Of course, this version of Sloan, as we've seen revamped this season, other skins from the past such as Paradise Meowscles could be in the Chapter 4 Season 4 Battle Pass, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. One thing's for certain, however, in case you were wondering, we're not seeing a storyline related live event this season, as like the other summer event based seasons, Chapter 2 Season 3, Chapter 2 Season 7, Chapter 3 Season 3, they go on vacation Epic Games over this time frame that Happy Power tweeted on screen right now. Of course, once the 14 Days of Summer or summer event every single year has released, this year apparently with 2 sets of free rewards. Drop a like if you're excited for that and Season 4 now with these leaks pouring out, and subscribe to the channel with all notifications turned on so that you don't miss any future uploads. As for where you go to now, click this video I've picked out for you to watch on screen whilst you wait for the very next video I do publish on the channel.